Hey everybody, and welcome to my last discussion post for our class here in Counseling 500. The person that I read the article is Thomas J. Sweeney. He's a licensed professional clinical counselor, and he's a professor counseling education at Ohio University. And this guy has done some amazing things for the profession of counseling. Reading through the article, he has been the president of the ACA. He was on the founding chair of the CACREP accreditation program that we have here at Liberty, and started to really spearhead that back in the day. And he really was a huge advocate for licensure in states. He wrote multiple books, and ultimately, he took counseling from an occupation to more of a profession. He was really instrumental in the beginning stages of this. And it was interesting because above all of that, which all of that is huge, one of the biggest things that they talk about, and he actually talks about, was that he's the founding director of the Chi Sigma Iota fraternity chapter for Counseling Academic and Professional Honor Society. And this society gives an opportunity for counselors to establish their professional identities, develop critical leadership skills, and for faculty advisors to have an opportunity to mentor students. And it was just interesting that above everything that he's done, having that a society of inward-looking professionals to help guide the new professionals coming in and help guide each other was one of the best things that he's done. Going forward, he's calling for licensure in all states to call for accreditation, specific CACREP accreditation from educational institutions. He wants to have more professional advocacy, and he wants to have more funding for evidence-based practice in counseling as well. So, looking at the next question is what I would like to advocate for. I would like to advocate more specifically in the world of drug and alcohol counseling. That's my passion. That's where I work now. It's something that I think with the entire epidemic going on and throughout history, we just need more awareness and more advocacy, and we really fall short in helping people work through addiction and into recovery. And one of the professional areas that I want to try to advocate for going forward is more of a holistic care for these individuals. When they come into treatment centers, I think they get great education on drug and alcohol, and for the short time they are in treatment centers, they get counseling. But once they leave, things fall apart. IOP programs, intensive outpatient programs, are very ineffective. Personal counseling is almost non-existent. I think counselors need to be more proactive in that area, as helping people transition back into society from drug and alcohol inpatient programs, and not just mentally, but emotionally, spiritually, physically. I think we need to have the tools to be able to work with the patient. Things like a personal trainer certificate to help with the physical aspect of getting healthy again, a CRS, which is a certified recovery specialist, which helps people walk through recovery in their life, nutrition certificates to help with the nutrition aspect of eating right and staying healthy, and then a lot of social work, so learning housing, Medicare, Medicaid options for these individuals, and just to be a lifelong learner in the addiction field and new research in addiction medicine. I think that's what my advocacy is going to be for. So looking at the next question, which is to develop a question from the reading, I wanted to touch on the fact that it talks about overcomplication is causing indecisiveness and anxiety. And overcomplication in the world, too much stuff, too many things, too many options. And whenever I see this or hear about this, I automatically go to Scripture. And there's three different scriptures I want to talk about. It's 1 Thessalonians 4:11. It says, make your ambition to lead a quiet life. You should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you to do. 1 Timothy 6:6-7. But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. And then Ecclesiastes, one of my favorite books, 4:4. And I saw that all toil and all achievement spring from one person's envy of another. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. It talks about in our book this voluntary simplicity movement, and it's something that I try to do in my life, is just living simply, not trying to seek after things that other people have or trying to live beyond my means. But the question I have for the professor and for everybody here is, I find that attitude of really throwing the world to a side, which we deal with as Christians, we tend to get a lot of blowback and people thinking that we're better than other people, or why are you living this way when we're all living that way? So with this voluntary simplicity movement, with our simple lives that Christ calls us to live as, how do we break through the wall of people thinking that we are better than them? So thank you for watching.